We're getting this day started. Lance Lack's about an hour and a half in this wheat field that he was disking yesterday. And then we're going to cross the creek and start disking what was one of our cornfields. We're going to play with the drone today. There's only so much talking you can do in a tractor cab. Come on! So I had about 10 seconds to land my drone before it was ready to die.
In the drone footage there, it looked like I was going at an angle. I know it looks like I'm going at an angle, but I'm actually running north-south, but I'm going 0.5 degrees off of center. So yeah, I am cutting it at a little bit of an angle. My dad worked this field the last time, and he's still old school. He has to go around and around. So he's worked this field in a circle, and we always try to go at a little bit different angle every time we work it. That way, if any of the old residues laying one way, I'm flipping it back the other way, and we're just kind of mulching it up. So I'm running it this way, and I doubt we run the disc over it again. I imagine I'll drop in here and just put some anhydrous down, and that's an applicator with shanks on it that's going to inject it into the ground. I imagine that's what we'll probably do next, and then I'll pull the field cultivator if I think the residue sized are enough, then we'll just drop it here and drill it. This is mainly just for grazing. Oh, we can feel the tractor pulling down, must mean we're dragging some dirt. See, I always tell everybody, you gotta feel by the seat of your pants. And I felt it. I felt the tractor going, whoa.
Was it just gas?
It wasn't gas. Better turn some air in here, starting to get hot now. Got a lot of hot air going on.
Now you missed the spot.
Yeah, we missed the spot. I missed it. I tell you, the reason why it's doing that is it's a little tacky. It's a little bit too wet still to be working any ground, but we need to get her done. We'd like to have it in by the 1st of October. You know, that works better for us. We miss the bugs, like I was saying yesterday. But I'm in half-mile long runs. I'm in the longest runs of this field. If you'd have seen this place about 4 or 5 years ago, it was cut up.
What we're in right now
It was trees and grass.
Yeah.
We reclaimed this farmland right where we're at right now. This hadn't been farmed in years, and they let it grow up in trees. And there used to be an old tree line with a creek running right. They're kind of like what you see over here. And we took it out, diverted the water out because it was all from bar ditch water coming down the road. Yeah.
They saw this in the drone when we turned the last
so
time.
right here where I'm turning, if she'll pan the camera around, this was part of that hill, and it's an old rock right there. We're gonna dig that rock hill out where we can farm it all the way to the fence. That rock goes down about 3 foot in the ground, and we'll use that dirt and rock to put around the creek banks and fix up washouts and do some things like that. We've actually got a trench dug in it about 12 feet deep over there, all the way across the front to divert the water. So the water goes through that hill back over to this creek over here. We took this field, and what was farmable was about a 45-acre field, and we took it from a 45-acre field, took a fence line out, and put another 25 or 30-acre field in it. Then we're up to about 88 acres in this field. And as soon as we get a little bit more tinkering on it, our goal was a 100-acre field. I don't think we're going to get there, but I think we're going to get around 90 to 92 acres out of this field. They don't make any more farmland, so you just have to get in here and push out some trees and straighten some old creeks out and move some rocks, because acres are getting scarce. You know, we did a lot of work on this piece of property here. We own this piece of property, so we don't mind spending a little bit extra money on doing some dozer and excavator work on it. If you'll go back several videos back, but you'll see us working on this diversion over here, taking some trees out on the edge of this field and burning some trees, and where I dug a canal to divert an old creek over there too. That's so we can gain a little bit more acres. And
it's kind of why we're doing the dirt and tree work that you've been seeing when you caught the excavator on fire. That area, that's not farmland necessarily, but it's grassland for the cows, and it's just gonna help.
Yeah, we lost a little bit of grass, so we need to try to, without going out and renting some more land and stuff, it makes more sense just trying to clean up what we got and see if we can't make it that way. We're in an area that we have a lot of eastern red cedars. If anybody knows anything about them cedar trees, at certain times of the year they explode like a bomb if they catch on fire. You can have one cedar tree on a 100-acre piece of grass, and in 3 years, if it's not controlled, you might have 100 trees on there, probably more than that, because they grow and they can multiply and grow so fast. I mean, they can take over a place. So we try to at least take the female trees out every time we see a female tree growing. And how you tell a female cedar tree is they're going to have the little berries on them. We won't clear them all. We might thin them out and trim them up so grass can grow underneath them and leave a lot of shade for the cows. But when it's just a thick pile, you've got to just take them all out. And most of them are elm trees, and elms suck a lot of water. The eastern red cedars, they drink the groundwater. I mean, we clear a 20-acre field that was just solid cedar trees. If we clean them off, we will literally have water running out of the ground the next year, because cedar trees are like sponges. They just suck everything to them. And then once you take them out, until the ground gets used to utilizing and being able to percolate that water back through the ground, it just floods everything. I mean, you'll have water springs everywhere coming out of the ground. And then it takes about a year to 2 years, and then the ground gets where it can start absorbing the water right and doing what it's supposed to do. But if anybody's asking why I'm not driving my hands, is yes, I am running auto steer. You know, it's funny that I grew up not having anything but you just drove a tractor. You picked a tree, you drove to it. You might have a line like this, but every time you drove that same line. Now with auto steer and running with regular tandem disc and things like that we got to drive back and forth, you know, I don't know if I could survive without auto steer. I do a lot of driving without it, but when you get tired, you might as well turn auto steer off, because that's the only way you're going to stay awake. See, I overshot my turn here. I was doing too much yapping and not enough driving. But, you know, it happens.
He's a yapper anyways.
You know, when I'm running the silage chopper, I don't get to run no auto steer. I just have to drive. You just point and go. I did about 60 acres. I like about 15 acres. I should have it done in about 40 minutes, 50 minutes. It's gonna be a lot of turning. This will be point rows, and if you know a farmer, they don't like point rows. There's a lot of extra turning. I lost my thought because my camera crew said, "Hold on, we gotta let the camera cool down." I mean,
All that yapping.
I don't know what she expects out of me. I can only do so much.
So much yapping.
Man, the things we have to put up with. You know, yesterday I was talking when we were on yesterday's video, when we was airing tires up, when I was talking about seed salesmen. Well, speak of the devil, yesterday afternoon I'm trucking along here just going at it. Phone rings. I'm like, Norman Seed? What's Norman Seed calling me?
He heard you, his ears were burning.
I told Jay that. So Jay owns Norman Seed and out of Texas, and that's who we buy our corn seed from. And he called to talk to me about that Indigen corn seed, and he asked me how I liked it. I told him, I said, we got it on the YouTube. I said, go get on the tube. I said, you can watch it, you can see step by step of it. He said he'd go back and look. He probably won't, he'd probably have his wife do it, but you know, us farmers, we let our wives do all that stuff. They're the ones that keep the place going. We just do the playing and the spending the money. And then she says, there ain't no money to be spent. Oops, I just bought parts. What comes in, more goes out. And then everybody says, why do you keep doing it? Well, if we don't keep doing it, how are you gonna eat? I'm always up for trying new things. Right or wrong, I do it anyways.
Well, it's scary when it's corn, because we got to have that to feed our cows for a year, and it's like, it's such a toss-up. You just don't know what Mother Nature's going to do. We knew how our old seed did,
Well,
and then we switched it and had the wettest year in almost record history.
so it's kind of like I was telling him on that deal, you know. I knew my tried and true varieties, I know tonnage, I know what I'm gonna make, but when you step out on a limb and do something a little different, and I told him, I said, you know, we did the same fertilizer package on everything, the same chemical package on everything. I didn't do anything different. The only difference is I had less weed and grass pressure and the Indian corn seed. And the reason why, my opinion, is once it came out of the ground and got to about, in terms that everybody can understand, not farmer talk, about the time it got to about the top of your boot, it started canopying already. So it's in 30-inch rows and it starts to canopy. So I needed to go 15 inches and the other row to come 15 inches. It closed the sunlight gap quickly. Well, that right there, if sun can't get in, it can't make the grass and the weeds grow. My other corn, it grew taller before it started canopying. So I was telling him that, and I said, you know, that goes back to some early varieties back years ago that we used to have, that it'd start canopying as soon as it come out of the ground.
Yeah, clearly we had weeds this year. We're not saying we didn't have weeds. It was just less.
Less, yeah.
Compared to the Beck seed and the
Golden Harvest seed. But Golden Harvest makes the Indian, but no, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it was clean by no means. I'm just saying because of the circumstances, I could not get in there and spray when we needed to. And when I chopped it, I did have Johnson grass in everything, but in our area, you just take the Johnson grass with it because you can't, even Roundup don't even hardly kill Johnson grass anymore. And a lot of the pig weeds are not killed by Roundup too. That's why we've kind of went away from a lot of that Roundup stuff. But I'm going by what we had less in. Was that one particular variety, I had less grass, I had less weeds than what I had with my other varieties. So if I could have sprayed it, everything would have been clean. I'm just saying for the year that we had and the growing conditions that we were dealt with, what did good. To me, that's a win. To me, that's my auto steer clicked off. I heard it beep. I had to figure out what was going on. To me, that's a win because I know in a perfect year, it's going to be clean stuff. I know in a bad year like we had this year, I know it's going to fare decent. That's a win in my book because I know now I'm going to not be saying, oh, what do we have another wet year? Well, this variety over here, I'm going to say, oh, I don't want that. If we have a wet year again, that's out. So that's checked off the list. I don't want it again. I'm getting a little parched talking too much. We're going to have to take a little break. I'm going to have to find some agua. My big old Yeti here.
Intermission.
Too much talk.
Who was I kidding, saying, well, there's not much talking you can do in the tractor cab? I forgot who I was riding with.
Wait till I start singing.
Chatty Cathy over here. We've got so much knowledge up here. We've got so much to share.
No, I just don't get to talk very much. 4 kids don't let you get much out.
We did it. We finished this field. We're crossing the creek, but we don't have a creek crossing. So unfortunately, we have to take the long way around to the other side of the creek so we can start on that cornfield, start getting it disc. So we're going to take the long way around. had one.
Yeah, I don't want to stop either.
I know. Oh my goodness. This corner is insane. Ooh, you made it out though.
I knew it was going to be wet there, but I sure didn't think it'd still be that way.
That was that corner that was too wet to chop during corn, and we had to wait till this whole field was done. It was the last corner we did, and
Yeah.
it shook the ever-loving tar out of us. It was rough, and apparently it's still wet, but we have had rain since.
Yeah, that was in end of July. We didn't chop that because there was water running out of the ground. Still wet there. I didn't want to stop and back up, but I didn't want to lose my momentum. I've actually had this very tractor and disc stuck in that same spot. But we'll hit it at a little bit different angle and see if I can't start getting it dry out. This cornfield hasn't been worked yet. There's a possibility that we put this in winter wheat to graze like we did last year, but either way, it needs to be turned under, get it ready for winter.
I can't leave when I want to.
Are we gonna make it? Are we gonna make it? Are we gonna make it? Oh, so close. Do we try it again?
Yeah. Depends on how close you were to the fence.
I don't know.
I know. It's no.
Well, I don't see no wires coming forward there.
Woohoo!
So, I think we made it. Trying to go anywhere I can through this mud hole and pick dry spots and wet spots and try to get it to start drying out. It ain't going to dry out very good with all this vegetation.
So isn't this corner where the pond
Yeah.
came around the spillway and
Yeah.
drowned that corner? Is that why it's still so wet?
Yeah, and I guess it's coming up under the ground. I'll pick around at it. I'll get a bunch of it. Oh, yeah! Gotta love the ditches.
I don't know if that scared him as much as me, but I know he yelled louder than I did. All right, it's lunchtime. While we're waiting for the tractor to cool down, here's where we got stuck. Whoa. It's a muddy, muddy mess. Lance isn't quite sure how we managed to get out of that, but thank goodness we did. He also hit a skunk somewhere, or at least scared it. But now the ground can breathe. Maybe now it'll start drying out a little bit. Okay, Lance and I had to drive back to the field after lunch separately because, you know, gotta have a way to get back to go get the kiddos because I will be leaving long before him. So he got started before I got over here. So I'm just waiting for my ride. Maybe I can flag him down. Maybe he'll know my hand signals. The things we do to get the shot.
What is that bunny rabbit too big for you, hog?
Aww.
That bunny rabbit ran right beside that hog, and that hog kind of looks like, yeah, I don't think so. Bunny rabbit probably.
Rabbit's lucky day.
Yeah, that rabbit probably weighed more than that hog. And that hog's like, I ain't messing with you.
Well, that's it for me. My time is up. He is going to keep on keeping on until he gets this field done. Could be later tonight. Guess we'll just have to wait and see. It'll be probably sometime later this evening by the time he gets done. So I'm gonna go get the kiddos. That'll be all for this video. Thank you for being here. Thanks for spending the day with us. We'll see y'all next time.